3, 2, 1.
Do you even 80s, bro, Ken?
Chris, I 80s when I sleep. I 80s when I poop.
Gross. Deep diving today. What are we talking about? It's Sylvester Stallone. Yes.
Who we have here, Chris?
That is Rambo. That's John Rambo. We're doing a new thing called Deep Dive. Do you even 80s, bro? It's a deep dive. We're going into Sly Stallone's filmography. Couldn't think of the word. His career. But the interesting thing is normally we do 1975 to 1995. That's our sweet spot for Do You Even 80s, bro.
But he's 80s actor.
He's an 80s actor, but we'll go back to the beginning a little bit,
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit
fine.
before 75, before we get into the meat and potatoes of his career.
You were born in the 70s.
That's true. I was.
You know what I mean?
All right. So you know a lot about his movies. I bet you know more than you think you do.
I probably do.
You know, there is some.
I know the gun that he used in Cobra.
That's true. Now so do I. There are some really interesting, fun things in his career. One being that, you know, he was in we're going to start off right away, everybody. Sorry, we're going to start this off. He was in a softcore movie, right? And, you know, it's now called Italian Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in that. He got paid $200 for 2 days worth of work because he was starving and homeless and had nothing else. He was at his, it was end of the rope for him, end of the line. And that got him back on his feet. And then he became a big star and everything. So get that out of the way because that was something that happened. That was 1970.
Fantastic, Chris. Very good information. However, I'm going to one-up you and go back even farther. I'm going to go back to July 6th, 1946. Little baby Sylvester.
Oh, baby Sylvester. Yeah.
Little baby Sylvester. He was probably smaller than Tweety Bird. Probably not.
Probably not. Well,
probably not.
At some point he was.
At some point, but not when he was born.
Turn that thing down, will you? So basically what we're going to do is so like I said, we're not going to It's so quiet now. Yeah, I know that was bad. That was bad audio, but that's okay.
Bad on us.
Here's the thing. Let's really quickly before we get to 1975.
Hold on. Before we get there, let's go back to the 40s. July 6, 1946.
Back in the 40s.
It says his name is Sylvester Enzio Stallone. How he was born, his birth name, Michael Sylvester Gardenzio Stallone.
Oh, Gardenzio, yeah.
But his real name is Michael.
Yeah.
He was born Michael.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's an Italian name.
But isn't that from Growing Pains with Mike Stabone? Was his name
Mike? That's probably why they named him
Was it Mike?
No. No, because Mike Seaver was his name.
I know, but dude, people have the same name. You don't think there's another Chris in the world?
Boner? You're saying Boner's name was Mike? I mean, you can look it up. I don't think that's what happened.
This is what you do on a deep dive. You search and you go into it.
All right, you can look that up. That's fine.
You go deep, Chris.
I'm gonna.
We're going Growing Pains deep.
All right. Oh, so we're gonna do a lot of tangents, I guess.
There you go.
There's gonna be a lot of tangents.
It was Richard Milhouse.
Yeah. Oh, Richard. Yeah.
Stabone.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, no, that makes some sense.
You think you could do that? Do we need to have Do You Even 80s, bro? Literally about people's real names on sitcoms?
Maybe, but not right now.
Fun.
But not right now.
That'd be fun.
We got to get to the task at hand.
I'm
going to give you some movie names.
I'm ready.
You did not see these movies. You might have seen a couple of them. 1970, very quickly. 1971, he was a subway thug in a movie called Bananas, right?
Oh wait, not Herbie. Herbie was not a part of this.
No, come on. He was Jerry Savage in 1973. No Place to Hide.
Seinfeld.
Nope. Lords of Flatbush. You know Lords of Flatbush. That's a movie.
I've heard of it. I'm
okay,
gonna go
so
ahead
that's a movie.
I probably haven't seen it.
He was.
You know how many movies that you pass by on like HBO back in the day? There's probably a chance that I've been like, Lord of Flatbush, this isn't for me. But I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
You know, especially like WPIX, like they had like the Saturday movies and matinees and everything like that.
Well, I mean, anyway, not for nothing, but that did come out before you were born. So,
but they were on. But the thing is, it might have been like a Fox matinee or something like that, where you turn on the TV, and you watch half this movie, you have no idea what it is. And then it'd be like, hey, let's watch Lords of Flatbush, and you go to watch it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've seen this batch of the movie before, right? And it triggers those memories, but you had no idea what it was.
Or TV 55, on one of those like Sunday movies, like you said. 1975 proper. Here we go. We're gonna start in. Okay, he was a prisoner in the movie's called The Prisoner of Second Avenue. Who's a youth in the park. All right. Then he was in a TV series. He was in Kojak. He was even I think in MASH. in the MASH movie or something like that. He was Johnny, Farewell My Lovely. 1975's Death Race 2000. He was in that. Played Machine Gun Joe. Machine Gun Joe Viterbo.
Interesting.
Viterbo?
That was his last name? Almost like Cobretti.
Cobretti, right, yeah. Well, when we get to Cobra, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that a little
so
bit.
You don't know any of these. You know the movie Capone? He played Frank Nitti, 1975? Yeah, you know the movie Capone? All right, he was in that. 1976, what movie?
Death Race 2000.
No, that was 75. No.
Oh. Oh, 76, Rocky.
Yeah, there you go. He played the titular character, Rocky.
Indeed.
We're not going to go. I mean, some of these we're going to go into a little extra deep dive because there's some stories to it. Rocky, you know Rocky. We're not going to do Rocky. We're not going to go into a deep dive on Rocky. But you know, he wrote it, he directed it, whatever. You know that whole story. Everybody knows that story.
Yeah, he hung out with Adrian in that movie. Yeah. However, he didn't do too bad for himself in real life. Brigitte Nielsen.
Brigitte
Nielsen.
Brigitte
is that her name?
Nielsen, Red Sonja herself.
And briefly engaged to Angie Everhart.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, he's going.
I'm going deep. I'm going deep.
Dive there.
I'm going deep.
Do you know he was in another movie called? He was in Cannonball. He's on credit.
He was a recipient of the Heart of Hollywood Award in 2016.
2016. You're getting way ahead of yourself.
I know. I'm sorry. This
getting way. You really.
No. What did you just say?
You're sidetracking.
Human
this
cannibal.
Whole thing.
You said something about a human cannibal.
No, he was in a movie called Cannonball. No, he was in a movie called Cannonball.
Prequel to Cannonball Run called Cannonball.
Was it? No. It might have been.
No.
Anyway, unaccredited. Paradise Alley is the next movie, 1978 he was in. All right? He's playing Cosmo Carboni. You want to know what it's about?
Dude, I would love to just compile a list of all of his last names in every movie. Dude, his name must be like Vinny in like every other movie. 3
Italian-American brothers living in the slums in 1940s. Try to help each other with one's wrestling career using the brothers' prominent skills. I don't know, they're con artists or something like that. Next, he was in another 1978 movie, Fist. F.I.S.T. It was an acronym. He played Johnny Novak. I believe it's like a Prison Break movie or something like that. I don't know. Oh, he's a warehouse worker. He was in
the other Prison Break movie. Was
warehouse worker. Listen, Escape Land. Yeah, it's called Escape Land. We'll get there.
It called Escape Land?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
He did a lot of. Listen. Stallone did a lot of prison escape movies, okay? Yeah, there was a movie called Escape
Plan. He wasn't in. No, he wasn't.
Anyway, let's keep moving, man. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Escape Plan.
Oh, Escape Plan?
Yeah.
Oh. I always thought it was called Escape Land.
No,
really?
Escape Plan.
Really?
Escape Plan.
I always thought it was Escape Land.
You probably heard
There's 3 of them.
Say it.
Yeah,
no,
there was 3 of them. No, there's 3 of them.
Dude, it's showing on here, man.
No, he might have only been in 2.
Escape Plan 2?
There was 3 of them.
Is it 2000?
There was definitely 3 of them. All right, when we get there, we'll get there.
All right.
1979 was Rocky 2.
Yeah. Oh, can I give you? Okay, keep going.
No. You got something about Rocky 2?
No. Rocky 2. Yes, I do.
No.
Chewbacca Balboa.
Chewbacca Balboa. Yeah, a classic. We did a classic blend where we combined Rocky 2 and Empire Strikes Back. No, was it Rocky? Oh, Rocky 2.
It was Rocky 2.
It was Rocky 2.
It was Rocky 2 with, Chewbacca and the administrator of the facility, Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Set up a fight between Rocky and Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And we called it Chewbacca Balboa. And it was just before Han got there. Or no, it couldn't have been just before Han got there. Yes, it was. It was before they got there happened, because Lando was hanging out with Rocky.
Yeah.
And saying, we got to get you, back to fight day and everything. And then all of a sudden, Han was coming with Lando.
It was with
Chewbacca, and Lando said, I got just the thing to get you out.
Yeah.
And then do the fight.
It was pretty good. Then he did a movie. Right, he did a movie called Victory in 81. 81. He also did a movie called Nighthawks where he played Deke De Silva.
What's on the screen there?
Right? Dude.
De Silva?
Deke De Silva. Played a conservative street cop. I don't know how you could be a conservative street cop, but then we get a little crazy. So these are not those obviously aren't his major roles. Those aren't any major roles for him. But 1982 is Rocky 3. Now, Rocky 3, Rocky 1 and 2 are great. I see them as like one movie.
Yeah.
Rocky 3, oh man, I love Rocky 3.
Really? Which one was that?
That was with Thunder Lips and Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. Yeah. That was where they started getting a little wacky. You know what I'm saying? I love that. That and Rocky 4.
Well, Rocky 4. Are we going into Rocky 4?
Not yet, because before we get to Rocky 4, we got to go to 1982, which is First Blood.
First Blood. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Did you forget he was standing there?
I forgot he was standing there. This is him from Rambo, though. He didn't look like this in First Blood.
No.
First
Blood is actually a really interesting movie. Like, I don't think people probably think, oh, Rambo, they think like Vietnam, they think like in the jungle and stuff. This was not the jungle. This was just in a town.
Well, yeah, he came back from Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. He was looking up his old friends.
Yeah, and he was kind of
found
going
out his
to
friend,
see them.
one of his old squad mates died, and then he was going into the town. And you know, Brian Dennehy, they did not like, because you know what it was.
He was like a drifter.
He was, yeah, but Brian Dennehy was not. They didn't. He wasn't like they were like they weren't Vietnam vets in that town. They were from like the Korean War. And they didn't like that or whatever, right? Because Korean was before Vietnam. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Korean.
But they didn't like they didn't like the soldiers because the people from the Korean War didn't get the recognition. Not that, all right, people from Vietnam did not get recognition. What I'm saying is, they had some type of notoriety. People from Vietnam. So when they came back, people were like, oh, you know, whatever. But people that fought in Korea were not like that. They didn't get that, and they were. So Brian Dennehy was mad and didn't like. But people that fought me, that was one of the reasons why he was like, get out of my town. We don't like drifters. And
yeah, we don't want you here. Yes, because it was a small town, all that stuff, and it was also the whole entire thing about like where shell shock or PTSD.
Oh well, that's
today.
Well, that's
he had that seriously in the movie, and it was kind of a little bit.
Who, Rambo?
Yeah,
Well, that was the whole
John
point.
Rambo. That was the whole point of the movie. Yeah, he had it, and it just took him right back
to
being in the war.
Right, when he was fighting, when they had him in the, they were beating him up, and he just got flashbacks, and then he lost it.
Yeah, and then he went out into the woods.
And you know the best part is that he only accidentally killed that one guy, and when he was like, no, it was an accident, whatever, and then they started shooting.
It was the helicopter. Yeah, the guy in the helicopter.
Yeah, he accidentally. Because he shot the right.
But it wasn't even really his fault.
But that's the thing. But they blame him, whatever, and then he's like, I could have killed you. And then at the very end is when you get to see Stallone like give that whole speech at the end of First Blood, where he was like, that's really like.
But that's the thing is where they go from that movie, which was kind of like a deep dive, if you will, into his psyche.
Yeah.
Of somebody who maybe saw a little bit too much and didn't get the assistance he needed upon return.
Yeah.
Right. They go from that to.
Yeah.
You know, like it took that to such a basic level and put out Rambo, and now he's in the jungle and he's just shooting everything.
That's what happened.
We need you for a mission. I know, but it's just so crazy because First Blood, a lot of people think
it could have been
Rambo,
different.
It's just him with the. It's not.
No,
it's not. It's almost like it's a good drama.
The poster for Rambo is not what that character is in the movie.
Yeah.
He's standing there with an M60 and he's got the bandolier. No, he was in a smock, a dirty ragged smock the whole, most of the movie.
Anyway.
So next movie, 1983, is Staying Alive. Now,
it
was directed and written by Stallone himself. And it was not.
Yes.
It was not received well.
But his brother, Frank Stallone.
No, that's where you wanted to go. Frank Stallone was in the movie also, but he was also right. But he did the music for it.
He did,
Here's the thing, though. Staying Alive.
To hook his brother up, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He trained. What's his name? Travolta. Yeah, he trained him so he could, because he was buff in that movie.
It was okay. There was Saturday Night Fever. This is how deep dives work, right? We're going to go Saturday Night Fever. Classic.
Yeah.
Right? Disco era, all that stuff. What happens after the disco era is gone?
Yeah.
And now he wants to make it to Broadway.
Yeah.
Right? So that was the whole movie.
Yeah.
Not
good.
Nope.
Not good. And it was the 80s, so not good. Tail into the 70s. Next was Rhinestone. He played Nick in This is Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Dude, I think he even sang at the end of that movie. And I do not think it went over very well. He is a country music star that must turn an obnoxious New York cabbie into a singer. Yeah, Do you think
he can put on like a Nashville accent?
No. Dude.
Hey, hold on. Ride him, cowboy. Ride him like a torpedo.
See, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Close. Doesn't work.
I'm automatically going right back to the Rambo stuff.
Sorry, Rambo. But right. So we're just gonna move a little bit along here because a lot of movies. 1985, Rocky 4.
Okay.
One of my personal favorites. I actually just watched it maybe I want to say a month ago, right before I moved into my new house. Love that movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
So here's a little tidbit from Rocky IV.
Yeah, do it.
He told Dolph Lundgren in one of the scenes, punch me as hard as you can in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the next thing he remembered, he was waking up in intensive care in the hospital. Next thing I know, I was in intensive care at St. John's Hospital for 4 days. It's stupid. That was his quote.
Wow.
Yep. He broke his neck while filming with Steve Austin, Stone Cold, if you will.
When did he film with? Oh, in Expendables.
The Expendables.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get.
I almost said The Incredibles. I'm glad you said The Expendables because I would have sounded like an idiot. It's like that was Craig T. Nelson. That was
yeah, right. Yeah, no, that wasn't Stallone.
That wasn't him. So anyway, yeah, a metal plate in there. Man, he broke his finger trying to save a penalty kick from Pele and Escape to Victory. What the heck year was Escape to Victory?
I don't know.
81. Did you skip by that one before?
No,
81.
It's called Victory.
Pele, the soccer player.
I guess. Well, I think it was billed as it was Victory.
Yeah,
it was a. Anyway. He was Captain Robert Hatch in that.
There you go. Robert Hatch. Hatchasso.
1985 was Rocky IV, like we just said, and then next 1985 movie was Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
There you go.
So that took him back to Vietnam.
Yes.
To rescue POWs,
yes.
But it turned out the guy that hired him didn't really want to do that, and then it's crazy, pretty crazy. 1986 though brings us your main man.
Yeah.
Your main man, Marion Cobretti.
There you
now,
go.
interesting story about this is that this was actually a Beverly Hills Cop movie. Oh, he had beef with
Whoa.
Yeah, this
Cobra
script
started out.
It was a script.
Tell me more, Chris.
It was a Beverly Hills Cop script, and I think they wanted him to be in it, right? And then something with Eddie Murphy. He has a beef with Eddie Murphy too for some reason. I guess maybe from this. But he took the script and he took out all the comedy beats and made him action.
When was he had a beef with Richard Gere?
Oh, Richard Gere. So side note, him and Richard Gere. I don't know what movie it was, but he was shooting a movie with Richard Gere. It was early on, and he something to the effect where Richard Gere and him they broke for lunch or whatever, and they're sitting in the back of a car because it was cold. They were shooting in Coney Island, and he got he had a hot dog, Stallone, and then Gere came in apparently with like a chicken, like half a chicken or a whole chicken with like mustard or something, and Stallone's like, "You're gonna get that all over the place," and he's like, "Don't worry about it," and he got it on his pants, right? And he ended up like hitting him, moving, getting him out of the car, and then the director was like, "Well, you guys are fighting, I can't have that. One of you's got to go," and then the director ended up getting rid of Gere on that one. And back in the 70s, I think this was. Let me see, what movie would that have been?
It was Lords of Flatbush.
It was in Lords of Flatbush. Yes. Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
1974.
So he got chosen. Yep. Yeah, so he was chosen over. Yeah.
Gere was set to play protagonist Chico Tyrell.
Right.
Eventually played by Perry King.
There you go.
Yep.
And to this day.
Yeah.
To this day, beef. So
yep.
Anyway, yeah. So back to Cobra. So he took that script and made it an action script.
It's totally crazy.
Yeah. Pretty weird. But Cobra was that was okay.
Cobra, yeah, it
was a little weird because it was like, what's this guy? I remember being a kid and being like, what's this guy's deal? Like, what is his problem? Like, I just remember being like, what is his problem?
He's like the antidote.
Because he was a cop.
Right? Yeah, but crime is a disease and he's the cure. Like, that was the whole thing. And the thing is, if you watch that movie now, you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, I bet there are going to be like one-liners. It's so cheesy. It's so goofy, everything like that. But it's really not.
Oh, speaking of which.
And the thing is, there weren't that many good one-liners in the movie, and there wasn't like that much. Like Commando, man, has a lot of good stuff. Like, excuse my friend, he's dead tired. I said that in the Sylvester Stallone.
It's fine.
But anyway, you know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of good one-liners in there and everything like that, and there really weren't in Cobra.
No.
Unfortunately. So if you do go to watch Cobra now,
that's what I'm saying. It's a little, a lot of good action in it. The other thing too with First Blood was, I believe originally there was a lot of one-liners and stuff in that, but he cut him. I think he edited the film himself and he cut it out. Yeah. So it's like he's silent. Yeah. It was like he played like a silent guy. Yeah. Next one you're gonna come up with one of my main men that he ever played, Lincoln Hawk from Over the Top, 1987. God, I love this movie, man. Turn your hat backwards, man. You're going into the proverbial squared ring, 12 inches by 12 inches ring. Dude, Over the Top. If you don't know what Over the Top is, he plays he plays a trucker. No, we're not. Didn't we do that one time? Didn't we do that one time?
No, I don't think we did.
Not my tendonitis. Come on, let's go. Not my tendonitis. Well, we're gonna break the microphone. All right, go. Dude, arm wrestling is no joke, dude.
I'm sitting like this, and you're like that.
Yeah, I was facing you. You're supposed to face each other.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Because you're not supposed to fight the other way. Yeah, I lost.
I gotta flip it back around. I'm no.
You know, Lincoln Hawk, my friend. Lincoln Hawk. But here's the thing: Over the Top. One of the reasons why I love Over the Top is, you know, what the remake is, right?
What?
Hugh Jackman did a remake.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but it's not called Over the Top.
Did he sing and dance in it?
No. Although he could have. He's really good. I love
That's
Hugh
why it was
Jackman.
called Over the Top, because he was a little over the top.
No. You know the movie Real Steel?
With the robots?
Yeah, another movie I just watched. My son and I watched it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hugh Jackman was in there.
Dude,
it was like boxing.
I love that movie.
Robots.
It's basically, but it's basically...
It was like Rocky,
it's basically
robot,
Over the
robot
Top.
Key.
Sure.
Robot jocks.
Well, we should do a deep dive on that. No, because there's no 6 degrees here. But I just want to say, Real Steel is an amazing movie. To me, it was always like the spiritual successor or spiritual remake of Over the Top, because it's a strange kid. He's got to bring his kid to go across country. They have to do something. In this case, it's in not arm wrestling, but it's robot boxing. Like, I love that movie. It's funny. My son was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. I'm like, sit down and watch this movie. You have to watch this movie. And he's like, and we only got through like half of it. And then like we continued. Then the next time he came in, I was like, he's like, Dad, can we finish Real Steel? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, so you like this? He's like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good movie. So Over the Top. That's what Over the Top is. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It's a Robert Loggia was in that too.
There you go. I know you like that stuff.
Next, 1988.
Yeah.
Rambo 3.
Rambo 3.
He's still in Vietnam. Now these
I don't know.
Rambo 2
this
and
was the
Rambo
weird
3
one.
It's not great. Nah. 2 and 3 were not great.
Well, 3 was weird because he was teamed up with the Taliban, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was.
Which is a little bit, it's a little
problematic
these
days.
days.
Problematic now. Now it's a little problematic.
Yeah. So that was a little bit weird, but yeah, we're almost out of the 90s. We're almost out of the 80s.
We're almost out of the 80s, but you can't listen. You're not leaving the 80s without a little Tango and Cash.
Well, lock up.
So here's the thing. I want to go back to Tango and Cash for a second, because
he loves these prison movies, man.
He just loves breaking out of prisons. I mean, that wasn't the only thing from that movie.
Can you imagine that? It's like, what are you known for?
But wait,
I'm known for breaking out of prisons.
But let me ask you a question. Who would you have seen more as the nerdy type? Kurt Russell?
Well, that's the thing. That's the same kind of thing that they did with, oh, gosh.
But I have something for you. Wait,
No. What was the movie with Will Ferrell, the other guys?
Oh, the other guys.
It was the same thing with that.
So good,
like Mark Wahlberg was a funny guy, and Will Ferrell was a straight guy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird where you have that.
But that was such a good movie. So many belly laughs I had at that movie. I laughed so much that by like 3/4 of the way through, I actually just couldn't laugh anymore because I was exhausted. But I watched that movie. I was dying. I love that movie. Tango and Cash. The interesting thing about this is that it's actually not that. Because think about it. He was like a Wall Street guy, right? Yeah. And in the 80s, late 80s and stuff, like those guys, they were big dude. Like that's all they did. They made tons of money and they got roided up and they got so that it's actually not that different. Yeah. So that actually makes a little bit of sense when you think about it. But Tango and Cash, good flick. I like that movie. Not great, but you know what? Here's the thing. Side note: a lot of these movies are not great as movies. Like scripts suck. Like they're not good movies per se. However, they're fun as hell.
But that's why you go to the movies.
You can't make movies like this anymore.
Be like, that's not realistic. I don't want to watch this. And then you will go and watch something that's realistic.
Dude, over the top.
It's not
Who's
fun.
going across country trying to win money to buy a new truck as an arm wrestler?
Chris, that's entertainment.
That would never happen today.
Entertainment.
Never. The Wizard would never happen today.
Entertainment.
Never happen today, as far as making movies. But they're great.
Entertainment.
Like you said, Lock Up. Again, Lock Up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Oscar.
Hold on, we didn't get. Did you miss Rocky 5?
I know. You know you're gonna go back to it,
man.
But I'm just saying.
1990 was also Oscar. All right, we'll get to Oscar.
No, 91. Anyway.
No. Yeah. First of all, Rocky 5, not bad.
Dude, it's.
No, it was bad. Touch me and I'll sue. Touch me and I'll sue. Dude. Sue me for what? Right? And he hits him. Yeah. This is Tommy Gunn. It wasn't a great movie. His real son though.
Yeah. Played
his son, Sage Stallone.
That's fine.
R.I.P.
Really?
Yeah, his son passed away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. His son passed away.
Oh man.
Well, you can look it up yourself. 1991 Oscar. Now.
He didn't win one for it.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
So
he probably tried.
So Oscar was a It was his. It was like a 1920s or 30. What was it? Right? He played Angelo Provolone. He played a mob boss, and his daughter's getting married, and it was supposed to be this like off-hilt comedy. He's a gangster. His last name was
Provolone?
Yeah, like Angelo Provolone. Yeah, his name was Angelo Snaps Provolone.
Dude, man,
I don't know what to tell you.
They
Chaz Palminteri was in this too.
They've run out of Italian names for him.
They did
by this point, and they just started to go with the cheese.
So not great. I actually kind of enjoyed the movie. Yeah. I thought it was very weird. It was a weird turn, but not as weird as 1992 Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Here's the thing. Another story. What?
Stalgetti, Golden Girls.
Oh, so good. She's a national treasure.
You think she is?
We're adding her to the treasure.
What?
We haven't said this in a while.
Two things that you know of. Two.
Rattle them off. National treasures. Rattle them off. Jeff Goldblum.
Patrick Swayze. Richard Gere. Kidding. Bruce Willis. We also said Michael Keaton.
Yes. And also, now we're gonna add a Stalgetti. That's 5. That's 5.
I don't know if a Stalgetti should get there, man. I'm sorry. I just.
There's a story about this. Is that Schwarzenegger tricked him into taking this role. He had said around town, "Oh, I'm going to take this role. I'm going to do this role," and Stallone ended up taking it, right? And Arnie was like, "I'm not taking that," and he's like, and he ended up doing it.
Hey man, he did it.
You know,
do what you got to do.
Just let me just run over here real fast while we're talking. Wait, did I do that wrong? On and off? Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah. So anyway, we are going into Cliffhanger and Demolition Man territory.
All right. Hold on.
In the year of 1983.
I need to talk about something. Oh God, man, go fix your thing. I'm gonna talk about Demolition Man. Demolition Man, one of my favorite movies.
Demolition Man. Talk to me about it. Taco Bell.
I love
Sandra Bullock.
Taco Bell. You know, it was Pizza Hut out in like Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they changed it because they had different things.
And Wesley Snipes.
I love this movie. What could you not love about this
Chris,
movie?
you know how many of these movies that you've talked about that I've seen? The 3 Rambos.
What?
Cobra. I've seen 4 of these movies so far.
You haven't even seen Rockies?
No. I've seen 4 of these movies so far.
It's not good.
That's why I got nothing to give you, man.
Good at all. It's not good at all, man.
I got nothing to give you.
Listen, help me out.
What did you do?
Help me out. How's that? Good?
No.
Tell me.
Up more. Yeah. Good.
All right. Here's the thing.
What'd you do? How'd you move it?
I don't know. Sorry. All right. So I love Demolition Man. He plays John Spartan. It's a good flick. Mm-hmm. They pre-Matrix. Yeah. Remember that movie? The
Matrix?
I
remember.
No.
Remember the
John Matrix? No. They did the thing where he learned karate, like he could learn
really
like martial arts and stuff like that. Yeah. That was pre-Matrix. Cliffhanger was Michael Rooker was in that. He has to go save Michael Rooker.
In Cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Save Michael Rooker?
Yeah, John Lithgow played the bad guy in that one.
Oh man.
Remember that? Oh. Remember when John Lithgow was a really good bad guy?
I love John Lithgow.
God, he was
No. I'm thinking John Leguizamo.
No. He played Gabe Walker. It was a hard game too for SNES, remember that? So all right, so that was 93. 94, he was a specialist. Played Ray Quick with Sharon Stone.
Quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played a demolitions person in that movie, I believe.
He played a demolition man.
Right? Oh, that's right. Oh, look at that.
He did.
Then you have 1995.
This is where we end it.
Mr. I am the law. Say it. I can't do that. I am
the law.
I'll do it better than that. Like
I am the law.
That's close enough. Right. I mean, well, you could stop there, but in 95 was also
Antonio Banderas.
Assassins. He plays the aging assassin, and Antonio Banderas is the new up and comer that's got to take him out. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It's
all
quite a career.
Listen, there's a lot of movies after that.
There's a lot.
There's so many.
There's a lot, but where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line? So that was up to 95, but I don't know. So out of all these movies, I've
seen 4 of these.
You've only seen 4 of these movies?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be honest.
And movies that we aren't talking about from it. I've seen Rambo in 2008. Mm-hmm. I think I saw the Expendables 1, and I saw the one with Antonio Banderas. Was he in all of them? He might have just been in the third one.
I don't remember. We can check that out, but
I think it was the third one.
Listen, I'm going to be honest.
Maybe it was the second one.
I've seen most of these movies.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, man.
I've seen most of these movies.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, he was in there.
Oh, he was in that too.
Yeah. That's it. That's really Ants. I think I saw Ants.
Yep, he was in that. We're going beyond the 90s now, but then, you got Daybreak, you got Copland. Copland was good. He played. You never saw Copland? No. Very good movie. Yeah. Gained a little weight. He played like the sheriff or something. Yeah. He was like deaf or whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. Stallone wasn't my jam. It was kind of like back in the 80s. It's like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. Like that was your choice. Who do you like? Who do you choose? Freddy or Jason?
Well, for me, actually, it was Freddy.
It was Freddy. Okay, so I was a Jason guy. Yeah. All right, so Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but you could. There was room for both, man.
No, I know, but you always had that one that you always just. I saw a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I didn't see many Sylvester Stallone movies.
One of our next deep dives on Arnie.
Same thing with Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I saw those multiple times.
Yeah.
All those Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I think I saw the first one maybe 2-3 times in my life, and I think Freddy's Dead. I saw that in the movie theater, and then New Nightmare. I saw that in the theater, and I saw the once after, and that's it. And then all the other ones, which I don't even remember. It's probably been like 15 years since I've seen any of the other ones.
Wow.
And I don't remember them.
No. Yeah, I definitely seen all those ones. Yeah, Freddy. I saw everything all the time. I just saw everything all the time. Yeah. My family was a big movie family, and we just rented stuff consistently. So, all right. So I guess we'll have to end it there. But
it was basically like an overview of his career.
Judge Dredd was a good. No, actually, it wasn't a good movie. But the comic accurate suit. That suit was really good though. The eagles on the things, that on his shoulders.
Married 3 times. He was a boxing promoter in the 80s. He had a boxing company called Tiger Eye Productions.
Oh yeah.
You know, what do you think about that?
Listen, you can't knock Stallone. He's had some really good ones, good highs, good, and then he's got some like, all right, these aren't great. He's tried some things out. Then he went back to the Expendables, which, hey, listen, for what it's worth, they made them. They made them. And they were generic action movies, but at least they were like, you got all those people in them. Like, that was just all you wanted to see. That's all you wanted to see with those people, right? All together in one movie, which was fun.
Yeah.
So,
was cool stuff. Hey, I'm going to tell you about Rhinestone back in 84. He sang a song called Drinkenstein with Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you know about that?
Not good.
Yep.
It's not a good rendition.
Performed 2 songs on The Muppet Show in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, did that too. He did a lot of things.
He and Robert De Niro performed a Star Spangled Banner together in Grudge Match. That was in 2013. Yeah.
Remember when he did? Yeah, remember Grudge Match, where he was. That was with
his brother, dude. Frank Stallone would be a fun one. His brother contributed songs to Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
Of course he did.
Like, be like, dude, you're making like an action movie. Can I give you a song, man? Oh yeah, it's a movie.
How many brothers does he have? But anyway, yeah, Grudge Match was a cool movie though, because that was like he was playing a caricature of like Rocky Balboa, and then De Niro was playing his role, essentially like the guy from Raging Bull. You know what I mean? Like that was the whole point. Like that was how they pitched it. You know that, right? What if Rocky in real life, and then the guy, I don't remember his name, from Raging Bull, and they were like, all right, let's do it, I guess. Yeah, Escape Plan. Yeah, his Escape Plan. Mm-hmm. There was 3 escape plans, though, dude. But I don't think they were all... I only saw the first one. I don't think I saw Escape Plan 2.
So he was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, Best Original Screenplay and Best Actor in 1977 for
Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he win?
He was born in Manhattan. I don't think he won.
I thought he won.
Yeah, I don't think so. He was just nominated, it looks like. So it says he was the elder son of Francesco Frank Stallone Sr., so Frank Stallone Jr., I'm guessing, is his brother. But his dad, anyway, was a hairdresser and beautician, which is interesting. And his mom was an astrologer and a promoter of women's wrestling.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
That's interesting. I like that.
His father was born in Italy. His mother,
now we're just
I guess, was from the U.S. that's where they met.
Yeah.
But Ukrainian and French, his mom is.
It's interesting that he kept his real name, like his real last name. It's not a stage name.
Well, that's the thing, but he changed his first name.
Yeah, well, you kind of like, yeah. No, normally you change your last name, right?
It's weird. Well, that's the thing is he had, I don't know. He had like 2 middle names, it looks like.
And so, obviously his legacy, I would say his legacy is Rocky Balboa, the character of Rocky Balboa, more so than John Rambo.
Well, without even seeing the movies, yeah, I'd say I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I'd agree 100%.
And like them or not, like that's an American staple, and it's like what he's done, and now continuing it up into Creed. And Creed 1 and 2 were very good movies. Like I really liked Creed 2 because it was an 80s sequel. It was an absolute sequel that would have been made in the 80s to Creed, to that first one. You know what I mean? And it's a cool way to extend the universe, the Rocky Balboa universe. You know what I mean? I enjoyed those movies. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Good stuff. Yeah. I mean, let's run it, man. Let's just end it then, I guess. It's just, what are you going to do?
Sylvester Stallone. You're forever part of the archives.
Yeah, let us know what you think about any of this stuff. Which ones you saw, which ones you didn't see. Like I said, I've seen, out of the ones we talked about, I'd say at least 85% of them.
All right.
Some of the early ones I didn't really see. Probably.
So, since he's number 1 for this thing, what do you think about?
What do you mean number 1?
Well, he's number 1. He's our first.
Foray
into the
deep dive. Oh, gotcha. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
I like to call it the deep dive.
Oh, the deep. Why? As in, let me give you the deets. We're gonna give you guys the deets.
We're gonna give you the deets on Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, we did.
We gave you the deets.
We gave you the deets. Yeah,
Sylvester Stallone.
The end now. We've done
but anyway, I think it would be fun, like at the end of every episode, to have a 6 degrees of Sylvester Stallone.
Okay,
with everything that we do on further shows. That's what we do.
Okay.
We connect.
Try and connect them. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely try.
All right.
That's a real test of our knowledge.
Yes. So that's how we're going to work that out.
I guess.
All right. So every single episode from here on out, 6 degrees of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. All right. It's good stuff.
Cool.
All right. So that'll do it. Thanks for watching this Do You Even 80s Bro deep dive of Sylvester Stallone and his filmography from roughly the 70s to the middle of the 90s. That's it.
Why not?
All right. So we'll see you next time for a deep dive.
That's when I peaked. It's all been downhill since then.
Yeah, right. Say an 80s thing.
Since 95, it's been downhill, man.
Well.
The 80s. Where are my flying cars? They said we were going to have flying cars.
Oh, you mean from now? So in the 80s, they said.
In the 80s, they told us we were going to have flying cars. Where are they?
We don't have them. Yeah.
We don't have them.
That's weird. I don't know. All right. That'll do it. Thanks, everyone.